All right, you guys. I'm riding through Belgium with the one and only AR out here,
Yep.
looking like the Fonz with a beard, man. This dude trying to, man.
What?
If y'all girls don't
Bro, I don't
wife
know
this
the-
dude up, I'm gonna have to clap back,
I
man.
don't know who the fuck the Fonz is.
He's like, I don't know. He was like this. There's a show called Happy Days, and he was like the cool character. Always wore a leather jacket,
fuck
had
yeah,
hair like
thanks.
you and shit.
Yeah, I appreciate
Like,
that.
he was the
He's
cool,
cool?
dude.
Cool, go ahead,
And then
I'll
everyone
take it.
was
The
all
Fonz.
like he. I don't know. Anyways.
I'm the Fonz, man.
Again, I haven't even watched that show like that, but I know the Fonz because he had this iconic character.
Okay.
Anyways, kind of like a rebel
Let's go.
type of thing, but
Yeah, many women.
I don't know about that. I never seen the show, but when I see the show, I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
What was I gonna say though? Oh, I wanted to talk about the difference between American and European culture. Now, I think parts of Europe it changes. So I'm really talking about. I'm in Belgium right now. We're driving through the streets of Belgium. And I just noticed a bunch of really interesting things. The one thing that to me is like pretty wild is the bike culture. Everybody out here rides a bike. Everybody. Like I saw like these what look like models, like female models that work at the downtown area, just riding bikes. Everybody rides bikes. Men, women, children, workers, and people drive cars. But I've never seen so many people riding bikes. Just, the other thing is like,
I don't.
yeah, you told me that.
Yep.
But you, at some point, you rode a bike, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Okay. See, just a couple years ago, he was riding a
But
bike.
that's because I didn't have a car.
And he rode his without the seat. So
10 years ago. Hey, man.
he was getting his, man.
Bro, what the?
He was on his Eschblum grind.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, come on, bro.
Yo. Anyway.
The Fonz, bro.
But yeah, everyone rides bikes, and it's just funny because I was thinking about in America, I'm like, oh, that's a high schooler or an elementary schooler. When I see people on bikes, I automatically just think they're in high school, because to me, I just feel like it's very rare just to see, unless you're like in the city and people are delivering stuff. I personally, and I don't live in the city. Again, I live in Colorado, but I've traveled all over the damn world. I ain't seen people ride bikes like this. And we're speaking for Belgium. I don't know what the bike culture's like in other parts of the European region, but I've never seen so many people riding bikes. So I wanted to say that was the other noticeable thing. The other thing, gun culture, you guys. It's really interesting because I still always have my head on a swivel. But being in Europe, just knowing people ain't packing a Mac at the back of the ack, there's a little bit of pressure. Now, there are crazy people, everyone has a knife out here. Even AR out here, packing a knife in the back of the ack. But there's a different, I don't know, I think it's really unique in America because, again, I'm from a state called Colorado. We all know of Columbine. We know of the dude who showed up to the King Supers in Boulder. Now people are throwing Molotovs in Boulder. Like, the Venezuelan dude who had the machine gun in the apartment complex. The mass shooting that happened in the movie theaters by that dude who looked like the Joker. So I'm from a state where having kids, you're just concerned because so much erratic behavior has happened. Whenever I go to, I've noticed this when I go to Maui, Hawaii, I'm like, oh, I don't really have to worry about, some dude rolling up in King Supers with a rifle, right? And same here. Like, there's a little bit of a letting my guard down. I'm still have my head on a swivel, but we've also been in nicer areas. I know there's ghettos. I know people get lit everywhere in the world, but there is something unique about just like, dang, like it's just, and this is coming again from someone who's totally like 2A. I'm an advocate for guns and freedom. It's just, it is kind of interesting. You guys tap it in the comments what you think. What do you think about that, AR? Because I thought you felt like gun culture was kind of wild in the U.S. because we were shooting a video in the middle of nowhere, and a dude, like, when he came to the U.S., we did the Ugly Boys video shoot, and a dude just pulled out a gun like, yo, this is cool, and started shaking his gun while we were doing the music video. He's like, yo, the U.S. is the Wild Wild West.
It's because I grew up without it.
Yeah.
It's just not a thing here.
Yeah.
So we're used to it not being a thing. But you have the same culture shock, just reversed.
Yeah.
Because you come here and it's not a thing. You're like, wait, I don't have to look over my shoulder and think somebody's gonna pop me.
Yeah.
We don't have that here. It can happen anyway. There's always guns illegally and stuff. So
There are guns here, but it's just
You won't see them that much.
It's a wild shock for me to be shocked about bike culture, and then Europeans to be shocked about gun culture. That's so extreme. Nah, you're absolutely right. And I think guns are cool. I think they're a great form of self-defense. I just think the mental health issues in America have brought things to where it's like, you're like, yo, should everyone, people, I mean, again, totally about freedom, but the mental health stuff is the reason a lot of these things have gone the way they've gone. Everything I mentioned, those tragedies, those people were mentally sick that did those type of crimes. Again, if people are wondering what I'm talking about because it was a little too coded, and let's say you're not from America, it's because YouTube tries to demonetize videos. When they demonetize it, it reaches less people, blah, blah, blah. So I kind of speak in code, YouTube code in a way. But I thought that was shocking. The one thing that wasn't shocking, because I kind of know this, the food tastes a little fresher in general. Now, I do fine-end dining and high-end dining in America, so the food resembles that here. But when you're not eating high-end in America, or fine dining, let's say, the regular food in Europe tastes like fine dining in America. And sometimes better. Because you can tell there's certain ingredients not in the food, the quality's better. It's just, it's really actually wild to me. And if you go down the rabbit hole of that as well, it's because there's a lot of chemicals and different things that are banned in Europe in the American food source. Do you notice that as well?
I know that that's a thing where in America you got a bunch of stuff that they leave in. You told me about this coloring stuff that they use for, I don't know what it was, man, Skittles or something. Said?
For Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops?
Yep.
Like they leave all these additives or whatever, these color BS ingredients, and then they ship it to, what was it?
Yeah,
Canada
so in America, they put all the chemical dyes and all the chemical bullshit in the American version of Fruit Loops. But in the Canadian version, and this is from the same factory, they don't put those in, and they just ship the quality kind to Canada.
It's similar in Belgium because in Europe, I have to say, they don't put a lot of BS in it. They're very strict on it.
Yeah.
Very. And that's great. There's still going to be some GMO BS and stuff here and there, and I don't know what's going on with all of that, but I think that the food in Europe in general is way healthier than the food in America.
Yeah,
in general.
Yeah, I'm trying to gauge what's going on out here. The obesity rate in Belgium, because I heard the UK has a pretty big obesity rate. Y'all tap in, let me know what's up. But out here in Belgium, that is the thing that stood out to me the most. Like, yes, there's a few obese people, but it honestly, there's a part where I'm like damn near ashamed of America and our obesity epidemic because it's blatantly obvious. And when you see all these people riding bikes and stuff, and it's funny because I feel like there's more people smoking out here, cigarettes.
Yeah, a lot of people smoke here.
So but they still I'm like per capita, people look way more healthy on paper out here than they do in America. Like, honestly, being out here firsthand, there's an obesity epidemic in America. I'm just going to keep it real, y'all. And the other thing is, in America, there's somewhere to get food on every corner. And out here, you got to be in the city. You got to go here. When it's in a place where there's some people, cool. But like, sometimes there's just, there's grocery stores, but it's just the food culture. Food is a culture in America as well. So hence the obesity, I guess. But anyways, that's the one thing that I noticed that was incredibly different is the obesity rate in America versus Belgium, at least. What else? I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. Ironically, they've taken on American culture. Like, I'm literally looking at graffiti right here, and I noticed the hip hop culture is out here. Like, people wearing fitteds, rocking Jordans, a lot of Puma and Adidas is bigger out here. I would say in America it's Nike and Jordan, but the Puma and Adidas culture is big. Also with sports, I thought this was interesting. We talked to some brothers, and they were talking about hooligan culture, which is the soccer culture and people fighting at soccer games in the name of their
It's very
crew.
big here, soccer. Football, soccer. It's very big here.
And it's like knockout, drag-out fight, like UFC fights within these soccer games. And even though every now and then a fight will pop off with American football, people ain't fighting. We don't have hooligan squads banging over teams. It's not like that. So they, in Europe, soccer is precious, and they fight over it. Like, people who probably broke their bones, losing teeth. And that's one thing that I was like, yo, it's just like, for me, I'm like, you got to fight for your rights type of thing. I ain't fighting for no soccer team. But I think one of the brothers we met at this hat shop was kind of explaining, like, politics is mixed into it as well. Like, you know, there's a little bit of that mixed in at some capacity. So if any of y'all are European and want to tap in on that convo, feel free. But, man, we're getting into the city. I always love the architect work in Europe as well. America's a baby civilization, so our stuff is always more modern, and theirs is a throwback. And the art, the detail to art with the buildings is just amazing. We stayed in an Airbnb. It was it reminded me.
It's called a Heerhuis. It's like
Heerhuis?
a gentleman's house, is what literal translation, but
Okay.
it's the style of it. It's
Okay.
very tall, a lot of floors, and quite narrow, but it wasn't like we had space, but it is, when you think about it, it's long.
Yes.
Yeah.
For all my Americans out there, it reminded me of an American Victorian home, except it was just like I said, there's so much history in this. Like, it wasn't like built anytime recently. It was really nice, but the best explanation it had attributes of a Victorian home in America, but again, it was actually really cool. It had like this techno or EDM concert vibe to it. I put stuff on my Instagram, and I'll be posting stuff here. I think I did a whole walkthrough of the Airbnb, and that should be on one of these vlogs. But I just wanted to talk about Europe and its differences to America while we were driving into the city. I'm about to go sightseeing. I'm about to go see a castle with my grown man eyes. I think I saw a castle when I was young and lived in Germany, but I haven't seen a castle with my adult eyes, and I'm actually like super excited. So yeah, we're just getting to downtown Antwerp, I believe, right?
Yeah. This is the city, but this is like city of Antwerp.
Okay.
This is the postcode 2000.
Okay, gotcha.
That's city, Antwerp. This is the heart of Antwerp, also where the Airbnb is and shit. I just picked the heart of Antwerp for us. You can see it. It's alive here. Until past midnight, people are just out. Students, grown people, whatever. They're just out. There's so many cafes. We're at a roundabout now. There's about, 10 cafes just at this roundabout?
The other thing I was going to say, for such a melting pot, such sophistication, the area we're in the city now seems massively safe. When my wife wanted to go to a children's clothing convention in New York, and I was so nervous I didn't want her to go because I couldn't travel because of my work schedule. Out here reminds me again of my favorite spot in the world, Maui, because it's just safe. I know her and the kids would be safe. They could go to a cafe, they could chill. If you're from where I'm from, when you know, you know. And in this area,
It's safe where I took you.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Not when you go to the shady.
Yeah, the ghettos.
It's a little bit further too. You don't want to be there at night. It's just, not that anything's gonna happen. Could be, but it's just, I don't know. If you're a tourist there, it's just different. I would not recommend that. I don't go there.
That's what's crazy too. There's ghettos everywhere, but like, for example, the ghettos of China and Thailand.
Oh yeah.
You're not in danger, bro. Like, where I
Oh, not?
I didn't feel any type of like,
Oh, bro.
not like in the Western world. So maybe I went to the different
Oh,
parts.
so you mean like you're not in danger in Thailand and China is what you? Bro,
Yeah.
the Philippines.
Oh, the Philippines is something else.
You might.
Maybe
be,
I
if
missed
you're a
it.
white guy in the Philippines, bro. Good luck.
Again, I'm a tourist. I wasn't looking for it, but you did go to some areas like, I went all over in China. They're like, yeah, this is the whatever, because we had a tour guide taking us.
You roll solo or was this with?
I went with a tour guide in China, and then in Thailand we just kicked it. Like, it was just me and Don, and we just said F it and got it popping. We went everywhere,
GBP, what were you doing in Thailand?
checking out the scenes, and not the lady boys. Don't do it to them. That's Ashplum. Yes, my bad, Ash. He's the punch line of the joke, man. Cause he took a bath in my room, dog.
Bro, you're just making it worse, bro.
Anyways, you guys tap in, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know if I got any of the candor correct. If I'm off. Have you been to the hood in Thailand? Have you been to the hood in China?
Have you been
Like, nah,
under the
bro.
hood?
I remember
Thailand.
going to Muslim quarters in China. That was kind of wild. That was a really wild experience, actually. Anyways, we
You know
rolled.
what else is wild?
What?
Thailand.
These nuts.